Hi guys, Sandra here of the blog thesensiblemom.com, and today is day plus 15. I'm going to update on today and also on day plus 13 and day plus 14. So I'll start with day plus 13. Overall, it was a good day. David's counts went up, and I'll kind of go through his counts really quickly. His hemoglobin, or his white count on day plus 13 was 1.93, and that actually increased from day plus 12. Day plus 12 it was 1.46. On day plus 14 it was 2.04, and today, day plus 15, it's 2.86. So that is wonderful. His hemoglobin on day plus 13 was 8.3. On day plus 14 it dropped down to 7.9. That was yesterday, Christmas Day. I woke up that morning and I noticed that David was hooked to the monitors, and I was wondering why, and did something happen, because he usually doesn't sleep with the monitors turned, with the monitors on, unless he's sick or unless he's receiving something, some sort of transfusion or infusion of something. So I noticed that he was receiving a blood transfusion, and so I looked at the sheet that the nurses keep with his counts, where they write down his counts, and I noticed that his hemoglobin had dropped to 7.9. So they gave him a transfusion, because he gets a transfusion when his hemoglobin goes below 8. So he got a blood transfusion yesterday morning, Christmas Day, and that has really helped with his energy. He has a ton of energy today, which is great. And his hemoglobin today, day plus 15, after the transfusion, was 11.2. So he really got a nice bump from the transfusion, but hopefully that's his last. I really hope so. His platelets on day plus 13 were 35. Day plus 14 they went to 46, and day plus 15 they went to 56. So that is great. His platelets continue to go up, which is wonderful. His ANC level also continues to increase. On day plus 13 it was 792. On day plus 14 it was 1,387. And today on day plus 15 is 1,801. So that is wonderful. It continues to increase, and that's great. And I did want to mention that all of this is without getting something called Neupogen. They mentioned that they would be giving David Neupogen to boost his white count, and I think it boosts his ANC as well. Sometimes they do that when people have bone marrow transplants, and for David though they haven't had to. And I talked to the doctor about it yesterday, and I think it was yesterday, and he said that he didn't think that was going to be necessary. So that is wonderful. So his counts keep going up, and things are moving in the right direction. His immune system is still, even though his counts are going up, he still has to be really careful, because his immune system, it's still being suppressed by different drugs, and it's like a baby immune system. He doesn't have the fighting power that we have, or that he even had, even though his immune system was already being suppressed before his transplant, with some earlier chemotherapy that he had back in September, and he'd been taking an immune suppression drug, the cyclosporin, for months, and that was suppressing his immune system. It's worse now. So even though his counts are rising, that's wonderful, and that's exactly what we want to see. But if he gets sick, it's really serious, and so we're trying to just protect him as much as we can without keeping him in a bubble, but still just being careful. So day plus 13 was a good day overall. Counts increased. He did start walking funny that day, so they started some physical therapy. And he had been, physical therapy or occupational therapy had been coming by every now and then, but today somebody actually came to work with him. And so she worked with him in the hallway, and he really enjoyed that time, because they think that he was having an issue with his leg, because he was spending, so much time in this room, and not moving his muscles like he normally would. So he started to walk funny and have some pain in his calf. So that seems to have resolved, but we're going to continue the physical therapy for now. Let's see, day plus 14 was a good day after he got over sort of a morning episode related to the steroids. Christmas morning was day plus 14 was Christmas morning, and the nurses came in that really early that morning, around 5 o'clock in the morning, and they left some gifts for him. That was really nice, and I thought that, he would wake up in a good mood and everything, but that didn't happen. He was pretty upset and really wasn't interested in gifts until later on that day. So once he got past the whole morning thing, and mornings and early afternoons tend to be rough for David and for us, for me and for the nurses. It can be really unpleasant, but once he gets past that, it's much better. So once he got out of that on Christmas Day, he enjoyed his presents and everything, and he had a really good day overall. Today, day plus 15, has been having a good day. He is no longer attached to the IV pole. Yay! He was super excited about that. He was on a cyclosporin drip, getting a cyclosporin drip, and now they're switching the cyclosporin over to oral, so he'll have his first oral dose of that tonight. And if he does well, then Lord willing, we'll get to leave the hospital and go to the Ronald McDonald place, or the Ronald McDonald house, on Monday or Tuesday of next week. He has to start the cyclosporin, and they have to check levels and everything to make sure that he's at a safe level, that the level's not too high and in his body, which could cause him harm, and that it's not too low. There's a therapeutic level that they'll be looking for him to have with the cyclosporin, and so he won't get to go home over the weekend. He'll start it, and they're going to be checking levels and see how things go, and Lord willing, if everything goes well, we'll get to leave here early next week. So that's exciting. And that's pretty much it. That's what the last 3 days have been like. And I will update again as soon as I can. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.